Hi everyone, Farifa again. So today I wanted to do something really basic, but I figured out maybe some people still needed some help with this. I have been thinking about what kind of videos I should do more, and then I came to the thought then, well, my forte, as you say it, is braiding. So I'm not that good in updos and stuff like that. My forte is braiding. So I wanted to start with the simplest of things, a basic English braid, and that way I wanted to work up to more difficult braids. I know I already put a French box braid video out there, but now I'm going to try to work it up. This is the way I learned how to braid. So today we're going to do the English braid, and then the next one will be French braid or the Dutch braid or something like that. Okay. So this one is really easy, but if you have never braided your own hair before, it's a bit difficult. In the beginning I had some difficulty with this too, because it's just weird. You need to get used to certain things. Number one, you need to get some arm muscles. In the beginning, if you never have done it, when you're constantly doing this, it really starts to ache. Maybe your back starts to ache, your neck starts to ache, but you will get used to it, and it takes some time. Just keep practicing, and before you know it, the English braid will be easy peasy, and you will think, oh, was that all the trouble? Bah, it was nothing. But of course you need to start with the beginning before you can go to more difficult braids. So this is the most easy braid there is, and it's the simplest braid. And now I'm going to show you how to do it on your own hair. But more important, you also have to know where you have to pay attention to certain things when you're switching to your shoulder, for example, when you have long hair like me. So step number one, you just need an elastic and a comb. When you're braiding, it's really important to have completely detangled hair, because when you're parting, it's really annoying if you get like a really big knot and you're just pulling and twisting, and then everything gets like fuzzy. So your hair needs to be smooth if you want a smooth braid. So that's step number one. Comb your hair. So now I'm just combing it like I would normally do. I already combed it half an hour ago, so that's why it goes easy. But now just put it backwards, and I do this to make sure everything here is smooth, and you start combing your hair back so that everything is smooth in this direction. It has to go like this. Same here. Make sure, if you have a side parting like me, that this part is smooth. This is a more difficult thing. If you want really smooth, you can use a brush. A brush always makes things more smoother than a comb. Okay, and now I just do the ends again, because they always get tangly. It doesn't matter what I do, they get tangly. Okay, now we have done this part. You can see it. Okay, so of course an English braid means 3 strands, and I already shared this little trick. The outer strands of your braid have to be thicker than the inner strand, because at the ends, the outer strands have thinner ends. So if you have more of the outer strand, your braid stays more even. So let's feel. This is thick, this is thick, this is less thick. Okay, perfect. See, as you can see how full the middle ends are, and the outside ends. Of course, now with me that my hair is freshly cut, but most of the time you have some more like a wispy feel to it. Okay, now, so I hope you can see my hands. Now the thing with the normal English braid is you put the outer strand over the middle strand and just choose a side. You do left over the middle, right over the middle, left over the middle, right over the middle, or the other way around. It doesn't matter. But the outer strand has to go over the middle strand. So that's what I'm going to do. This is my hand position. And I take the middle one and I pull the outer one over it. So this one is the new middle strand. So now I take the right one, pull it over the middle, and there we go. And now it's really important at this step to pull it really tight. Just pull it tight. Of course not too tight, that's not good for your hair. Now we just do the same. Take it. And what I do is I keep my hand steady, like taut, but I'm not pulling. I just keep it really close to where I'm braiding. That's the trick to braiding a nice braid. Not pulling to get it tight, because then you get like you can get like a how do you say it, a crooked braid or a very uneven braid, because sometimes you pull harder. The trick is to stay close to the braid and just keep it taut there, but not pull too hard. Just keep it very close. Keep your movements, how do you say that, controlled. So, and if you have long hair, you can always do this. Just go with your hands over the sections. I hope you can see it. As you can see, I stay really close to the braid. And every once in a while just go over the strands, because you want a smooth braid. There we go. Now comes, as you can see, I'm having difficulty braiding further. Now we need to switch it up. So I keep it in my hand. I switch it up, pull it over my shoulder. Now I'm feeling, as you can see, this strand was the last strand that went over the middle strand. So now it's this strand's turn. So I just take it over. But now it's important to do the same like I just did. No pulling at all. Just keep your hands really tight, close to the braid. And then you start doing again what you did, but no pulling. Just keep it close to the braid, no pulling, because then you will get like a kink in your braid because you switched over your shoulder. Just keep it really, and I'm doing it really slowly now. So as you can see, just slowly, just take your time in the beginning. Just take your time. It's really important when you're learning to braid to take your time. And keep smoothing out the braid. As you can see, this one is thinner, so I will not have the perfect ends, but that's okay. There we go. As you can see, keep it nice and tight, close to the braid, close to the braid. That's the trick to it. No pulling at all. As you can see, if you do it like this, if you want the perfect braid, it takes a while. But normally it goes a lot faster. So keep doing. But I think I'm going to stop. I will have a long tassel, I think. There we go. Because ends will start to stick out, see? So I'm going to stop here because I don't want too much end sticking out. But I was at the end of my braid, so I tied it off. And that's the result. I have had better ends when I divided better. So yeah, but it's a normal tassel. I'm just a bit of a perfectionist. But as you can see, this is the end result if you do it like this. A really tight braid, not too crooked or anything. So yeah, if you do it like this, it's really taut here too. So it will stay for a while, of course. Do not expect from a normal English braid to stay, how do you say it, not get wispy, or how do you say it, when you're yeah, we're just going to work or running around. I don't know. There will always come hair loose here, so you can't avoid that. If you get annoyed by it, you can redo your braid, for instance, because I sometimes do that too. Because here now it's nice and taut, but after a while you get some frizzies here. That's just normal. You can't do anything about it except if you used oil or a gel. I personally do not prefer gels. I think oils are best then you have like a really shiny braid. But if you do it in a tassel, of course your tassel will look too smooth as well. So you can keep your braid like this and then put some oil like that over it. But I think it works best when you oil completely your hair, so then it really stays really smooth. But just, it's a normal braid. I kind of like it when there's some wispies out there. It just shows, it's like more of a country look, I don't know. So this is the way to do it, or at least the way I do it, to have a nice braid. So now I'm going okay, so that was my first tutorial, of course way too long. I don't know how to explain things in a very short time. I just want to give as much tips as I can. So this is my way to have a really taut, even braid. Of course, you can get faster at this. You don't have to take your time like I did. Normally I would braid faster too. It's really a tall braid if you do it like that. So for braid buns, it can be a bit uncomfortable. So maybe you can braid a bit looser. That's another trick I want to show the girls with maybe a bit less hair. If you feel like your braid is not thick enough, you can braid more loosely. But the important part is to braid tight in the beginning. So I'm just going to quickly show you. So you braid tightly in the beginning, just pull it nice and tight. One more time, so that here it's tight enough, but then you start braiding loosely. Just grab the hair, but don't stay so close at the braid. Just loosely. Of course, now you have more of a risk screwing it up here, or I just say that. Just loosely fold the braid. Actually, you're not really pulling, just loosely. Of course, I divided it wrong. One strand is way thicker. So don't mind the ends. I didn't do it very well with that. As you can see, you have a bit of a thicker look to it if you do it less taut. So that's a tip for people with a bit less hair, just want a thicker braid. It's also a better kind of braid to bun it, because when you bun it, you need to put some sticks or a fork through it, and if it's really tight, it hurts. So yeah, that was my tutorial to the English braid, and the next one will be the French braid or the Dutch braid, or both, because they're really the same, quite the same actually. Okay, bye.